Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is, well, January 1st, 2024. 2024. It is January 1st, 2024. Happy New Year. And what a way to bring in the new year. Bitcoin is getting crazy. Just broke an important level where I think it may continue this sudden uptrend. So let's check it out. All right, bitcoindelateview.com. Got more for you there as always. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours, let's refresh that. Yeah, it just went into the green. So Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours is 3.9 billion, up 0.78%. So we're beginning to see a real move. If we look here at the hourly chart and looking at longs versus shorts, there's a $2.5 million buy just now. People were looking at 44,500. As if you go back and look at previous support and resistance, you'll see that this is a good place to break through to continue. Also, it's a psychological spot to begin moving if we cross it, and we did. So 44,500 definitely has been a nice threshold to break. We wicked above it pretty darn good. Will we continue? We'll take a look at that. But one thing I will notice today, looking at the purple bars right here, this unexpected move has definitely wrecked a lot of shorts, and it's a lot of positive buy volume coming in. So we'll look and see if this is going to continue, or maybe it's retrace time. But anyhow, unexpected, took a lot of shorts off guard and wrecked them, and that's what shorters get. So anyway, a nice move today. Let's continue. Boom. Looking at DXY, it's not, the market's not open today, but we can see that the dollar strength index has been on the way down for quite a while. There's a downwards channel. We'll see what it does on Monday, but overall, it's continuing a downwards channel on the daily. It's below the 200 and the 314 moving average. So big thing is the 200 moving average, and boom, it's below that downwards channel. Dollar strength index is weakening, and that would make sense when you see Bitcoin pumping. And we should see commodities pumping more. Maybe Monday morning, we'll see how it rolls, depending on the mood of the DXY. Anyway, crude, I like to watch that because it's a real sort of reality monitor. And also, these are all daily charts. And you can see here where it's a great example of a head and shoulders that went wrong. So anyway, it's below the 200 moving average on the daily. I do not think this will continue. I'm watching crude. This is basically just U.S. oil, especially as we see escalation right now with some world events. I myself, I'm hedged into ETFs for U.S. oil, but this is about Bitcoin, so we'll stay there. Anyway, gold right now is Forex, so it's always open. Gold just towards the green today. Overall, upwards channel. Above the 200 moving average on the daily, positive. Looking at silver, it's really just not been performing that well recently, but definitely has had volatility for those who are trading it on paper, especially with leverage. But regardless, it may make a move off this 200 moving average on the daily, depending on how things go. If commodities run, it will run. So silver could be looking positive as the market opens on Tuesday, along with gold. All right, so looking at trading, looking at longs versus shorts for Bitcoin on Binance, where the big volume is 51% long, 48% short. For Ethereum, 65% long, 34% short. This is really on Binance for Bitcoin, a little bit too close to call. So definitely I'm going to call the sentiment uncertain as far as continuation of this pump. Looking at the top 20 exchanges for spot trading volume, I'm seeing some turn green, and that would make sense because just looking at the top 20, I see some beginning to turn green that were, red over the holiday season, or I should say red over the holiday weekend, which is now kind of coming to an end. It's Monday. Tuesday's back to work for most people. And anyhow, beginning to turn green, that would make sense because some of the alts are really moving like crazy along with Bitcoin. So exciting times. Looking at Bitcoin this moment, 44,698. I would refresh this to get down to the second numbers, but it tends to just take forever to actually load this page. So, that's good, wonderful. And if you look, really, all day since about 10 a.m. we've had this gradual move, which really kind of took off just recently. Looking at the top 20, top 100 coins. Right now, most are in the green, and actually very positively in the green. I like seeing Thor Chain in the green because it's called Ruin. It's a very badass, just the name of it's very cool. I like that. Looking at SEI, SEI, this guy's been moving like crazy, up 25%. So some alts are doing just freaking crazy. Anyway, along with Bitcoin. So, but for Bitcoin, a 5% move is pretty big. For an alt, 30% is kind of big. So we see some alts definitely showing up for work today. So that's always good. Bitcoin, this is a 4-hour chart. And here's what I've been watching. This is what I call a whale range. And it's my own kind of way of seeing it. And basically, when you see Bitcoin going sideways like this, so we had, I'll try to pull a little bit more data in here for you here so you kind of see what's going on. So, and this kind of goes for alts and really anything that you're trading. If you go back here to about like October of 2023, you can see this beautiful uptrend, this upwards channel. And then, of course, it begins to go sideways. And, of course, it went sideways, back here, too. So you tend to get kind of a pump, and then a sideways, a little pump, and then a sideways, a little pump, and then a sideways. Okay? That's very, very common. Bitcoin, it just loves to do that. And many assets do. Let's clean this up. So it's a 4-hour chart. So let's just focus on recent time here. So what I call this is a whale range, okay? And what it is that, realize with the big money, Bitcoin is, and crypto in general, but Bitcoin is easy to manipulate. If you're on that whale conference call, if anybody ever wants to invite me, I'll show up, be honest with you. But if you're on that conference call, then you know that you're planning these things. And so if we look at Bitcoin and you just kind of, here's the buy range down here in the green, there's the sell in the red. They got it going sideways and it's ranging. And so if we look, buy, okay, sell, actually, I'm sorry, buy, sell, buy, hold it, sell. And then look at this incredible run. It didn't quite get too far below, but look at that. It's running. What I mean by below is it's a 4-hour chart. There's your 200 moving average. There's a 314 underneath it. And as you can see, it rode the 200, and then eventually it began making a move. And these purple candles are an indicator called Candles by Sam on TradingView. When you get 3 consecutive bodies of the candle stacking, they turn purple. And of course, that's going up, and when it's going down, it turns yellow. So that shows a lot of velocity. So we made this powerful move off of the 200 moving average, began moving up. And here's the thing. So if you look, in my humble opinion, the big money has been selling here, and it has been, buying here. It's interesting that we didn't really have enough volatility to really kind of trigger either one of these ranges where the buys and sells are happening. But still, the 200 moving average is a very, very powerful thing, the white moving average here. So as you can see, we rode that for a while. And the longer you ride it, oftentimes, especially if the 200 moving average is trending up here in the 4-hour, the more likely you are to have a move towards the upside. So anyway, we've broken way above the range that were, the sells were happening. And it's all about, are we going to keep going? Well, to be honest with you, I can't tell you. It's really all about what the big money is going to do right now. But this is a very, very positive thing, and I like it. So we have broken a recent high. So if you look here, here's your high, and we've broken it. And so that's a wonderful thing. We can go back and look. Let's actually go and let's clean this chart up a little bit here on the daily. I'm going to clean up this thing here. Let's go to the 3-day. And this is a chart that I look at quite a lot. Sorry about that. Bonk, bonk. Okay, so this pulls in a lot of data. And so if we go back to when we were hit the 3Ks back on March of 2020, the 3,000 range, where people thought, oh my gosh, it's over. And if you look, really, we had kind of a massive head and shoulders that didn't play out. Bonk. You know? And so it's a 3-day chart. So let's do a Fibonacci sequence here. Let's start when we were down here at the 3Ks in March of 2020. Let's go to that glorious all-time high. And look at where we are. This is very interesting to me. This Fib sequence has really been very beneficial to me. So we hung out for a while from like March of 2023 to like October 16th. So exactly about March 17th of 2023 to like Thursday the 19th of October 2023. We were hanging out here in the 618 golden pocket, which is between the 618 fib and the 65 fib, and that's just fine. And we kind of made a bounce off that 200 moving average. We went under, but that's fine. We went under the 200 moving average on the 3-day. This is looking at a lot of time, and we made this beautiful move up. And of course, we moved up above the 618. We found some trepidation there on the dot 5, and now we're moving, boom, hitting that 384. And now we're basically, as you can see, if I go to a daily, let's go to a daily chart here. There you go, boom. We just broke. Yeah, hey everybody, you can see it a little bit better here, that 618 golden pocket while we were hanging out in there. And we were wondering, are we going to lose that or not? Well, let me actually go back to here. One of the positive things, this is the daily, so let me actually get my CPU kind of burning up here. If you look on the daily chart here, you can see a little bit more clearly. You see that volatility. And so we definitely got to the 786. We went below it. The 786 is a very powerful place to bounce. It means you've wiped the weak hands. And if you start moving up from there, it's definitely a place to watch. So if you bounce in the dot 5, great. 618, great. 786, you bounce there. That's a damn good place to bounce. And if you continue and break that 618 and that dot 5, you're definitely probably on the way back up. So looking at a daily chart, boom, look what we have done there. We have just now, we've done it before twice. We tried to break that 382. Didn't quite make it, but this time definitely have made it. So if we find a bounce, definitely I could see a continuation back to the 236. Well, well above the 200 moving average and the 314. Actually, I think here on this chart, it's not the 314. On this particular one, it's the 140. But let's actually fix that and make that 314. So on the daily, we got 200s above the 314. That's good to go. We're moving up. We've broken that 382 fib level. It's a wonderful thing. So let's just see what happens. I think if we can stay above that, it's going to be a glorious thing. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Let's really zoom in. And here you can see some powerful moves. Let me actually clean these things up a little bit. And get rid of that. Well, now. Rid of that. Sorry to hold everybody up here. Let's just make this look a little bit cleaner so we can see it. All right, so here we go. This is a 4-hour chart. And so what I like is there was this nice long trend. Bitcoin broke the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. It's been moving up. You can see here where these levels really come into play. Let me squeeze this a little bit so I can see the fib sequence here. It definitely was having a little bit of time there at the dot 5 fib sequence. Of course, we know it launched off the 618 golden pocket. Now it's been beaten on that 382. It's made it above. And so now looking at this short time frame, we've broken above. Now for me, what I'm kind of watching for is, are we going to come back down and bounce off this fib sequence or what? That's what I'm kind of watching to see. We've really extended it. We've pushed really hard. It's all about, can we keep above that 382 fib level right now, which I see at around 44,164. So we broke 44,500. So are we going to hold that and continue moving up? My take on it is I'm going to give it a little bit of time to see if we do. And if we can hold that fib level, and we got some room now since it broke 44,500. Let's just look at that forecast. So let's just say that we, from this 382 to the next level, 236, in a reasonable amount of time, if we get there. Let's give it like 32 days. Let's give it, sorry about that. Let's just give that like, let's give that 15 days. Doesn't really matter how long you give it. I'll give it 18 days. Something that looks kind of reasonable, that matches its runs. Is that going to match? Bonk. Let's see how long. Well, I don't want to belabor this, but oftentimes you can look at your last runs and see how long this one took, how long that one took. And honestly, if I just kind of eyeball it without getting too specific, let's go right about there. So let's just say that in 14 days, 15 days, if we ran to, if this is a nice run that continues, before we find any real resistance, could we actually see about a 20% on Bitcoin within 14 to 15 days? That would match these previous runs as far as time. So let me just look at this one here. How long did it take to get there? That was like 6 days. How long to get there? About 21 days. Okay. Hit that next fib level. For that one more time. Let me get this one out of the way so I can see. There we go. So we broke, started moving. That took about 14 days. So, let's just, I'm really kind of eyeballing this, but let's just say like, let's say it takes, 20 days. We kind of average those two last runs out. Yeah, it's 20% in 20 days. So up to y'all. If we can hold this fib level of 44,146, if we can continue moving, if we continue flirting with that 44,500 going sideways, that's actually pretty sweet. So let's see what happens. And will the markets actually continue to move? If the markets continue to move and Bitcoin continues to move, that's a good thing. Now, why I'm somewhat positive, a couple of reasons why I think we might see Bitcoin continue is, one thing, we've just started the election season, and the current administration needs to keep that market in the green, or they're done for. So they're going to keep it in the green. And along with that, we have, you can read these if you're watching. I won't even mention them because I don't want to get YouTube mad at me, but you can look at this headline. You can look at this headline here. Actually, just this one right here. Over here at Zero Hedge, and there's one more. You can see this one, which is not so important. But regardless, I would say that the intensity of world events are really pumping right now. When all else fails, they take you to war, and that makes the debt market look really inviting to the Fed. You get lots of spending. Stock market looks good. People think the market is good, and it's election season. So basically, if you're a Bitcoiner, this might be a real important time to watch, because we might see 20% in 20 days or a month, or even less. So, not financial advice. I'm just watching this, and I think if we can hold this fib level of 44,146, and we can basically hopefully hold 44,500 sideways, even if we start ranging again at 44,500 around there, I myself will be layering in, because I believe that, like I say, with what I just said, election season and escalation, and when all else fails, they take you to, well, I think we're going to see a run. And if you're 20% up the next couple days, next month or so in Bitcoin, that's really, really wonderful. And if you're crazy brave and you're trading alts, they're making crazy moves right now. And so anyway, I'm going to be doing a video, hopefully daily, on Bitcoin, and then actually also game tokens, and then also privacy tokens, and maybe I'll do one just in general on alts too that are moving. Depends on how much time I got, because I'm trading right now because the market's on fire. It's time to make money. The market is starting 2024. Let it be our Lambo month, or Lambo year, I should say, where we make so much ridiculous money. And if you're altruistic, you can stack those Bitcoin sats. You can do all trades to get more Bitcoin, however you want to play it. But my hope for everybody in 2024 is that you buy a Lambo because it's just fun, and you park it in your front yard of your trailer park just because it pisses off your neighbors. Anyway, take care, and I will be on as much as I can. Like, subscribe, all that, so you can see these things when they hop out. Okay, take care.